Alright guys, I am Marvin Abendan and my partner is Faith Pilacora. So now we will discuss about police model systems in Canada. So policing overview, Canada has three levels of police services: municipal, provincial, and federal. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police (RCMP), Canada's national police force, is unique the world as a combined international, federal, provincial, and municipal policing body. So the general information, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police is the Canadian National Police Service and agency of the public safety portfolio. Currently, the RCMP delivers law enforcement and investigative services in relation to federal statutes, criminal intelligence, technology, and support services for the broader police community, international policing duties as required, and contact policing service in 8 provinces except Ontario and Quebec and 3 territories. So the functions and missions. The first one is the primary function of police is to preserve order, sometimes referred to as keeping the peace between people within a community. In Canada, the two main responsibilities of the police are keep Canadians safe and to enforce the law. There are several different types of police in Canada. So mao gito ang ilang kanang mas priority to keep the kanang ilang lugar nga peace o syempre safety, and as well as kanang enforce the law. Throughout Canada, the RCMP enforce laws made under the authority of the Canadian Parliament. It is part of a power and duty delegated to the provincial governments. The RCMP provides police service under the terms of policing agreements to all provinces except Ontario, Quebec, Yukon, the Northwest Territories, and Nunavut, and other separate municipal policing agreements to 197 municipalities. So as Canada's National Police Service, the RCMP are primarily responsible for enforcing federal laws throughout Canada, whereas general law and order, including the enforcement of the criminal code and applicable provincial legislation, is constitutions the responsibility the province and the territories. So mo na ang mga panagid ang mga most nga ilang cater priority is katong province and territories. Police model system in Canada. The purpose of Royal Canadian Mounted Police from coast to coast at the community, provincial, territorial, and federal levels. So these are the 5 territorial and federal levels. So the first one is prevent crime. Second one is enforce the law, investigate offenses, keep Canadians and their interests safe and secure, assess Canadians in emergency situation incident. The core responsibility or Royal Canadian Mounted Police within 3 main areas of responsibility. So this three is the 3 main areas responsibility. So the first one is contact and indigenous policing. Second one is federal policing. Third one is specialized policing services. So the structure and organization. The RCMP is currently divided into 4 regions, which is Atlantic, Central, Northwest, and Pacific. 15 divisions, 1 for each province and territory. The Training Academy in Regina and the National Capital Region, and is headquartered in Ottawa, Ontario. Division roughly approximate provincial boundaries with their headquarters located in respective provincial or territorial capitals. So the second one is staff and data. So the RCMP has a diverse workforce of over 25,000 people spread across the country. The workforce is composed of 3 categories of employees: regular members more than 70 15,000, civilian members approximately 3,000, and the public service employees over 5,000. An investigation is the police also conduct investigation in order to protect Canadians and enforce the law. They investigate theft and financial crimes such as fraud of commercial scams. They also investigate case involving kidnapping, murder, and terrorism. So this can include, so mo to ang iyang mga investigahan jud. So again, the scams, kidnapping, and terrorism. So most policing in Canada is provided by the RCMP and the municipal police forces. The RCMP enforces federal laws and provides policing services in all territories and most provinces except Ontario and Quebec. Most cities and many large towns have their own municipal police forces. First Nation also have their own police forces. So safeguard and accountability. So police are responsible to obey the law as well as enforce it. The law, including the Canadian Criminal Code and Provincial Police Acts, limits police power by defining the circumstances in which the police may act. In some circumstances, government may pass laws that give the police special powers. So the last is the most extraordinary example of this in Canada in the War Measures Act which was invoked during the 1970 October crisis in Quebec. So now let's proceed to the second reporter, si Faith Villacora. So
good day everyone, I am Mary Faith Villacora and I will be continuing discussing the police model systems of Canada. So the most expensive component of justice system in Canada is the policy. So when we say policy, it is how the law enforcement maintain the peace and order to their place. So the police force costs about $6 billion annually and includes almost 60,000 police officers at 3 different levels such as federal, provincial, and municipal. So, ang policing is same lang sa dito sa Philippines na ilang law enforcement is to maintain peace and order. However, it has a different standard lang sa they can prevent and maintain the peace and order sa ilang place. So, we have the Federal Police. So, in the Federal Police, they have the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, or known as RCMP, was formed in 1873 in the Northwest Mounted Police and are now the Federal Police Force in Canada. So, sa Canada, nasa RCMP. While sa Philippines, we have the PNP and BGMP and other law enforcement agencies that can prevent crime and that can protect the citizens and can help when it comes in emergencies or in such insurgencies. As the provincial police, they provide investigation and protective services to the federal government. So, muna ilahang insight sa ilahang as a police or as a law enforcement sa Canadian mo provide sila protection and they also investigate when it comes there is a crime sa ilahang lugar. But in all provinces, yet it has an exemption to the places such as Ontario and Quebec. It is important to know that policing in these 8 areas is not done exclusively by the RCMP. Provincial and municipal police forces and or other provincial and federal agencies often work together to enforce the law in this area. So, in implementing the policies, dili lang kay ang RCMP or known as the Royal Canadian Mounted Police ang work or ligo they have coordination to the provincial and municipal policy ay police para mas effective and mas dali ang ilahan. So these are the RCMP's work focuses on the following 8 areas with the coordination of the municipal and provincial police, as what I've said earlier sa previous slide. So here is the first one, the customs and exercise, which they investigates cases of the international smuggling, enforces the Customs Act in isolated areas of the country. Exercise duties are taxes collected and goods produced in Canada, such as cigarettes and alcohol. The Canadian Customs and Revenue Agencies imposes these taxes, and the RCMP investigates violations of the Exercise Act. So this is the top priority of the RCMP to focus, which they investigate sa mga kaso nga related to smuggling or the illegal tax of goods such as the cigarettes and alcohol. So the second one, we have the drug enforcement, which it enforces the laws identified in the Controlled Drugs and Substances Act. This branch of the RCMP consists of 1,000 police officers who give the highest priority to cases involving international and interprovincial drug smuggling. So we all know drug is a very known case, a very known crime all over the world. Dili na pa sa Canada, nasa ng Pilipinas, nasa ng US, and any part of the world is part of the drug smuggling. Third one is the economic crime, which focuses on commercial fraud, organized crime, technological crime, and securities fraud. This branch also works with the Bank of Canada to deliver early warnings to local police of currency counterfeiting activities.
So, maong gitawag siya ko economic crime kaya maapektuhan ang ekonomiya sa kabansa if hiani ang particular crime na ilang ipang commit, especially specifically mga cybercrime or mga technological illicit activities.
So, ang duty sa federal policing is na slide 286 federal laws and 17 sets of regulations na nag-cover o kanang mga about hazardous waste transportation, environmental laws, mga explosives, about vehicle odometer tampering, mga student loans, and other public safety na consumer protections issue. So we have the immigration, the sixth top priority of the RCPC to work on, which is they gather information on the smuggling of aliens into Canada and the counterfeiting of passports and visas. This branch also works with Immigration Canada to screen out immigration applicants who are members of criminal organizations or perpetrators of war crimes and act of terrorism. So, diri yung mga RCMP is nag-focus sila diri kay sa immigration, more on kanang daghan kayo mga terorista nga mag-fake sa ilahang identity para lang makasud sa kana nga lugar para diha sila cause of scene or mag-con of war, mag-start of war. And so next is the proceeds of crime, which division identifies and confiscates money or property that has been acquired through criminal activities. So kanang mga example tingali is kanang mga examples sa kidnapping, maybe ma-relate na to siya ning kanang area sa RCMP nga ilang gi-focus kay if naay one person or someone nga na-kidnap, they exchange money for the life of the person. So followed by the criminal intelligence, which specialize in gathering intelligence or information on organized crime and terrorist groups. So as a law enforcement or as a police officer, it is required to have a intelligence as a police para lain sa kayo lisod kag police. Wala kay initiative, wala kay common sense or any kind of intuition na as your duty nga mo act, like kailangan mo gamiton din mo mong utok when it comes na kasi mohang field. Last one is the International Liaison and Protective Services, which provide securities for federal officials and visiting head of state. So, ang last nilang priority is they provide security. Mahatag sila o kanang sila ang murag police sikyo or kanang tigbantay sa mga federal officials, mga government officials sa Canada. And this division also cooperates with foreign police agencies such as Interpol. So we have right now is the provincial police. The provincial police forces have jurisdiction in rural areas and in unincorporated regions around cities. The largest of these forces in the Ontario Provincial Police, or known as OPP, followed by the Surrey du Quebec and the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary. In other provinces and other areas of NFLD and law, the RCMP operates as the provincial police. Using the Ontario Provincial Police as an example of provincial police force, these are the areas of responsibility they cover, such as the policing municipalities that are not required by law to maintain their own police force. It is responding to municipal police requests for special assistance in emergencies. So, ang provincial police daw is nana siya sa rural areas. When we say rural areas, nana siya sa probinsya. Probinsya na siya mga ang lahat daw mga duties and responsibility is to respond or to give backup sa municipal police if they request na need sila assistance when it comes an emergencies or when it comes na particular crime na needed daghan police officers. So, aside from giving assistance to the municipal police forces, they also providing traffic control on all 400 series and major highways, including those sections that are in the jurisdictions or municipal police forces. Providing investigate services and requests to the coroner's office and to other police ministers. And last is performing other assigned duties such as maintaining the provincial firearms registry, providing security and protecting government officials and dignitaries. So, aside sa hatag sila assistance when it comes na emergencies, they also provide or they also control traffic sa ilang rural areas. And also, they provide investigate services sa mga requests sa mga police ministries. And last one is ilang duty is to maintain na sila ang provide when it comes na registration sa firearms, and also they provide security or giving security and protect the government officials with their dignity. So we have the last one, the municipal police. It is the jurisdiction in town cities funded by each municipality. Smaller towns or cities without municipal funds for their focuses uses provincial police or RCMP. Municipal police force organized into numbered divisions that service local community. Divisions then subdivided into specialized crime squads. For example, the gun crime unit, the robbery squad, the homicide squad, and the explosive disposal unit. So, ang municipal police is na divide siya into crime squads kaya para mas ma-focus o mahatagan ng specific attention sa particular crime. So, municipal police officers' duties are the following: preserving the peace, preventing crimes from occurring, assisting victims of crime, apprehending criminals, laying charges and participating in prosecutions, executing warrants, enforcing municipal bylaws. So, it is understandable na dili lang ka sa municipal policeman sa duties, but it also involved for the other officers, but it is stated that here in the policing system of Canada, the municipal is their duty is to preserve the peace and they prevent the crime from occurring. For occurring the kanang pagkahitabo sa crime, ila i-prevent para dili mas mo worse. And aside that is they also giving warrants from most wanted person or even sila mo give sa kanang mga warrants, and also they give charges and also they participate when it comes in